Rob, we've had an exhibition of British weather conditions already today, a little bit of everything. St Helens lineup all but picking itself for the game after last weekend's fine win at Warrington. They've lost the powerful Kiwi prop George Mann since then. He's joined the New Zealand tour party. Let's have a look at the Salford team lineup, if we can. Transfer listed, Mick Worrell is the notable absentee. Steve Gibson and Ian Sherratt are both injured. Ready for kick-off. Little overcast, quite blustery. The rain has stopped for now. The pitch is still quite moist, but the conditions are good. Saints in the white strip. Salford in change colours today, and Tex Evans driving it forward. Mark Moran is the hooker. Tony Rampling, the Australian prop forward, who made quite an impact on his debut in Rugby League Live against Lee. Offside. Salford won't be sorry to see the Rugby League Live cameras here today. They recorded their only First Division victory of the season in front of them a month ago, beating Lee in Kevin Tamity's first match in charge. Since then, they've lost to Hull and to Widnes and have a share of bottom spot in the table. Here's Rampling. Saints' defence has been a lot tighter in recent weeks. Tex Evans managing to unload to the Salford debutant today, Mark Barrett. His first game in the Stone Spitter Championship. Steve Gibson, the regular fullback, is injured. Here's Peter Williams back at standoff half. And good ball from Blees. Here's Williams again. That's a useful kick too. Keith Bentley's trying to get there. It's just a little bit too long, and Phil Vivers is able to watch it dead. Man in charge this afternoon is Charlie Tidball, a British coal employee from Wakefield, a marathon runner. He's broken 3 hours for that dreaded distance, so he'll be up with the play this afternoon. St Helens in possession, hoping that November is as kind to them as October was. They won all 4 matches they played last month. They're the form team in the First Division and can move within a point of league leaders Warrington if they win today. Tommy Frodsham's their standoff half. Paul Loughlin, their Great Britain Test representative. Like a little disorganised, it has to be said. Here's Neil Holding trying to restore some order. He kicked very well at Warrington last week. That Saints win which brought to an end Warrington's unbeaten run. Adrian Hadley running the ball out. Ian Bragger a little indecisive.
Breakdown in communications on both sides there.
1 or 2 cobwebs which haven't quite been cleared, which is a surprise when they've just had 45 minutes in the presence of men like Alex Murphy and Kevin Tamity. I actually think they'll come out fired up and concentrating. Mark Brooke-Cowden at 13. That's a useful ball, and Hadley's got a little bit of space with the ball in his hands, and that's happened rarely this season, and Salford have kept it alive, and Ian Bragger's in. It was a good try. Bragger scores it. Adrian Hadley played a big part in the build-up, and a great start for Kevin Tamity's team. The St Helens cover was a little lax, but full marks to Hadley for keeping it alive and for Bragger for taking the chance.
There's good support play here. We see Hadley break away, push away quite well, and there's the support arrive. Well timed, and a nice inside ball to Bragger. Beats an easy tackle from Cooper. Salford have already shown that they're going to attack the short sides. They've come in a couple of plays, and then they're overloading that short side of the field.
Yes, Mark Brooke-Cowden was the link man to Bragger. And that's Ian Bragger's 6th try of the season. And Adrian Hadley taking over the kicking responsibilities in the absence of Steve Carey, who's been dropped as substitute for today's match. It's a good start for Hadley. He's made a try and kicked a goal. And Salford lead by 6 points to 0. And St Helens, who've made some slow starts in 1 or 2 matches this season and come back well, have got to do it all over again.
So far we've seen Salford very deliberately carry the ball 2 plays in away from the touchline and then come back down that same side. Perhaps this time they'll go a couple of play forward and kick the ball. Let's see if they look for the short side or the kick.
David Cairns and Tex Evans. Taken on by Chris Whiteley. Bernard Dwyer penalised, holding down Whiteley, preventing him from playing the ball. Williams hasn't found touch though, right down the throat of Phil Beavers. That really is a costly error to make. Cooper holding. Saints trying to open it up. Neil Holding coming back inside and finding Alan Hunt. That's a little bit wild. Paul Loughlin managing to gather it. It's all pretty off the cuff at the moment from St Helens.
Very bad error from Peter Williams there. Not finding touch. Gave St Helens the chance to get into the familiar role, the role that they really like, of throwing the ball around against a fractured defensive line.
Andy Bateman to get them moving, maybe. No, Holding and Frodsham, the halfbacks combining. Forber by Frodsham again.
That's a play we should look for in St Helens all afternoon. They really fancy a play, 2 or 3 passes out with the player passing and then wrapping around, the old run-around play.
And here's Paul Forber. He loves to get into those wide positions. It's a spectacular forward. Breaker of tackles. Neil Holding. Shane Cooper. Holding again. Oh, dear. Another breakdown in communication. And they'll be hearing about these at half-time.
Number 8's in the thick of the action here. Kevin Tamety's given him a go, and he said, I'll show you what I can do. He's in everything at the moment, Whiteley.
He's got an interesting record against St Helens, Chris Whiteley. He's played against them in 3 A-team games, during which he's been sent off once and sin-binned twice. Seems to get a white blur with a red V in it when he faces St Helens. Kicked us a little bit too long. But he's a competitive lad who's channeling his aggression well in the opening stages. Been a scrum down, though, back on the Salford 25.
Those few inches on the touchline make a big difference. It means more than a few inches when you have to come all the way back for this scrum. St Helens are now in a great attacking position.
Cooper to Loughlin. Hunt in support. Loughlin could have smuggled it out of the tackle. Embracing challenge of Evans and Brooke Cowden. Cooper, good ball player. Holding. On by Dwyer. Forber loves to get in those wide positions. Keeping it alive again for Bernard Dwyer. Needs support. Might not. And once again, the referee being very, very strict on that. Very important to a side on the attack that they're able to play the ball quickly and catch the defence off guard.
Yeah, it's a brave decision, I think, there by the referee too, because part of his problem is whether to give a penalty in that sort of situation or whether to let the team have the attacking advantage and perhaps score a try.
There's always a suspicion, I suppose, that there's an element of professional foul in those positions, that the defending side is happy to take 2 points against rather than 6.
In this country, Clive, the referee doesn't use the sin bin in that case, but back in the land where I come from, the referees do use that particular situation to put players in the sin bin to make the penalty greater than just this perhaps 2 points that we're about to see.
Paul Loughlin having some trouble with this blustery breeze. You're looking at the leading goal kicker in the First Division at the moment. The man, of course, who kicked 5 goals in last week's Test match victory over New Zealand. And no trouble from that kind of range. So St Helens are off and running. Salford leading by 6 points to 2. Loughlin kicking his 52nd goal of the season.
I think there's some danger signs there for Salford in that attacking set of plays by St Helens. Salford fell off far too many tackles. That's been their bugbear this season.
Certainly Kevin Tamati is bound to concentrate on defence. Made his mark in a month at the Salford helm. A tough disciplinary code, an extra night's training already introduced, an emphasis on improving fitness and defence and control of the ball. He wants a bigger pack. Almost signed Steve O'Neill from Swinton yesterday. Here's St Helens' latest signing, Andy Bateman. Groves, ball went back. Cooper. Here's David Cosgrove. Beavers. St Helens certainly giving the ball plenty of air. Mark Bailey trying to stretch his legs. Dave Tanner tackled. 5 tackles. Holding. Again, the clever kick now is obstructed there by Moran. Linesman's flagging, referee saw it anyway. Yellow cards out, and Mark Moran is off to the sin bin. Salford lose their hooker. Neil Holding a little winded. It's not for me to say, but I wonder whether Neil Holding might have something of a reputation in the game, Brian.
Yeah, he does, but I mean, that's the St Helens fans here are booing, but I think I'd be, if I was Kevin Tamati, I'd be booing. That was a pointless penalty. The ball was kicked directly to a Salford player. Salford had possession.
Good servant of St Helens, Neil Holding. Knows a trick or two. Cooper, back to Forber. Very exciting form at the moment, Paul Forber. Andy Bateman. Holding. Holding on, Mark Bailey. Often see Beavers up at acting halfback there. Bernard Dwyer taking the tackle. Neil Holding again. Back to Tommy Frodsham. Again, good hands. Beavers, Bailey, Tanner. Not over-blessed with pace at the moment, the St Helens side. You heard Alex Murphy saying prior to the game that he's still looking for a couple of players. Clever kick by Phil Beavers. I spoke to him at some length on that subject earlier in the week, and he would love to pick up a centre with some real pace to complement Paul Lachlan. Needs a real flyer in his lineup, I would think, to be a genuine championship side, somebody who can score from inside his own 25. They don't come easily. Salford getting the benefit of the doubt at the scrum. I think Murphy's other priority, whilst we're on the subject, is big second row forward. Salford leading by 6 points to 2 in the blue shirts and in possession with Tony Rampling. And the ball's gone forward. Salford, don't forget, without their regular hooker at the moment. Mark Moran is in the sin bin. But Ian Gormley does have experience in that position from his Widnes days.
And that makes that error by Tony Rampling even more sinful. When you're down a player, and particularly your hooker, the last thing you want is to lose possession on first tackle.
And they've lost it. Cooper. Frodsham. Like the Harlem Globetrotters at times, St Helens, aren't they? Phil Beavers. Lachlan providing good support. He'll take some stopping. Oh, and he couldn't quite get it away. And Rampling more than atones for his error with that smart bit of defensive play. But St Helens are risking all, almost at every opportunity.
Well, that's the way they like to play. I guess that's the Murphy style. And when they catch their passes, as they are at the moment, throwing the ball with gay abandon, and when they handle the ball well, they're really going to take some beating.
Peter Williams' kick. I must say, it's whetted my appetite for the afternoon's entertainment. St Helens appear to be in the mood to entertain. I wouldn't say whatever the outcome, because it's important that they win today, but certainly they're going to play a very open game. Just look at this. Neil Holding. do believe he thought about a pass then. Cooper is at the heart of much of the good work. Bateman, no doubting his impact on the team so far. Played 4-1 for Andy Bateman since he's moved from Hunslet. Holding's kick not coming off. Braga blocked it with his foot. Tanner has retrieved it. Cooper again. What a clever footballer he is. 5 tackles. Here's Vivas. Mark Bailey, breaking the tackle. Phil Vivas in the open. Oh, he needs some support. He's got a kick and chase. Tex Evans is coming across to cover, and Tex Evans kicks it dead.
One of the problems in modern day game defensively is that on later tackles the teams can kick for good position. So wingers are inclined to drop back to cover that kicking situation. So the clever players and the clever teams like Neil Holding and St Helens find that a great chance to attack down that wing. And we saw a great example of it there.
But St Helens still on the offensive with Tommy Frodsham. Paul Groves. 4 back. Always feel as if something's going to happen around Paul Forber when he's in the mood. Holding. Just lost concentration a little bit.
That's the difference for St Helens. I thought there was a real try-scoring opportunity there. But when they hold those passes, they're very hard to hold as a team.
Shane Cooper, the captain, number 13. Salford have taken it. Williams has dropped it. Cairns has retrieved it. Barrett has fallen on it. Ball went forward.
Clive, this is just flirting with danger. They're trying to self-destruct. Possession of the ball is just absolutely paramount, not only in your own quarter, but also, as we mentioned, with a player in the sin bin.
That's an Australian talking. It's the way we play over here. Have a little bit of fun, a little bit of excitement. Paul Lachlan, Shane Cooper, a few points maybe. Good try.
There's your fun for you.
Scored by a New Zealander, mind you. Shane Cooper, the St Helens captain. But they've taken chances from the very first whistle, and some are going to come off and some aren't, and that came off beautifully for them.
Here we see them standing in the tackle and unloading the ball. Again, good support play from Shane Cooper. Ever alert from the scrum. But you can put that try down to just weight of possession. 13 versus 12, and one team having a lot more possession than the other.
Bailey and Lachlan in the centre set it up.
Also put this down to Lachlan's strength to be able to stand in the tackle. And again, nicely timed support play from Shane Cooper.
Declined the possibility of touring with the New Zealanders this season in order to concentrate on captaining St Helens. And he's captained St Helens back into the lead in this match, thanks to Paul Laughlin's conversion. 8 points to 6 in favour of the home team.
It's not much fun in having tries scored against you, Clive. And that try came not from Salford trying to do something fancy with the ball, but just from lack of discipline and really controlling the ball in an area where they were very unlikely to score.
It's a match that carries a promise of points. Between them, these two sides have seen more than 600 rattled up in their opening league games. Drop out from beneath the post.
Here's a break for Salford. This is a great chance for them here to show us what they've got again.
Neil Holding. Young Mark Barrett. Broke Bateman's tackle, but not that of Groves. Mark Moran, the Salford hooker, just about ready to return from the sin bin. All cleverly played out of the tackle to David Cairns, and Barrett giving him good support. Excellent play by Chris Whiteley in the first place. Here's Cairns again. Not quite free and please. Rampling, not very fancy. Braga eventually gets his hands on it, tries to restore some sanity. Williams. And he's lost the ball.
Clive, Peter Williams has had a horror start to this match. He's failed to find touch, kicked out on from a penalty, that is, then kicked out on the full in general play, and committed errors in his own quarter, and then on a great chance on attack, he's again lost the ball in the tackle.
Moran ready to come back out. Last few seconds of his sentence ticking away. And he's on. St Helens in possession with Bernard Dwyer. Holding. Here's Frodsham. Again keeping the ball alive. Scant regard for defence or any idea of security or playing safe or being conservative. Went forward in the end. Salford back to a full contingent of 13 men. Here's Williams. Very talented individual though, just back from injury. Cairns going on from acting halfback. Rugby League live from Knowsley Road, St Helens. Salford here in the blue, trailing St Helens by 8 points to 6. David Cairns, their captain, in possession. Ian Gormley. Joe Gormley's grandson. Tony Rampling. Braga just holding on, and then Hunt almost intercepting, and Bentley getting it back. Referee happy for Salford to have the advantage. Ian Blease. Here's Rampling. Well, they might just smuggle him into touch. They can. Here's Cairns. Williams again. Help by Cooper. Some help from Dwyer. Here's Mark Brooke Cowden, another New Zealander. And he's lost the ball. Cairns trying to get it back. And Shane Cooper eventually claiming it. Well, it's untidy and error strewn, but it's certainly exciting, and it has a promise of being very, very eventful. Neil Holding. Here's Frodsham. Here's Dwyer. Man over. Vivas can't hang on. Paul Loughlin. No knock on. Here's Frodsham again. Longer ball to Bailey. Bernard Dwyer's the St Helens man down. Play continuing. Neil Holding has found touch. And Saints have another good foothold if they can contrive to take this scrub against the head. Salford's ball. In Braga. Strong running centre. Barrett the fullback. Here's Rampling. Evans in support. Taken by Dwyer. Here, please. Nice play by the Salford back row. Tex Evans trying to profit from it. Mark Moran in support. 5 tackles though. Cairns. Oh, and Williams has put another one down.
Very nice skills up the short side shown by Salford there. Drawing the man and slipping very nice, neat little passes.
Paul Forber. Neil Holding. He just seems to crouch through gaps, Holding, and he's got tremendous acceleration. He's a very gifted player. Frodsham. Dwyer. Very neat.
Well read by Bentley too, very good defence there.
A rather late tackle coming in from Whiteley, which was spotted by the touch judge Stan Jackson. Not sure that he wasn't committed. Alan Hunt was the player who caught their pass that was thrown out of the tackle. Whiteley has had his disciplinary problems against St Helens, I was saying earlier, gets away with that. Here's Ian Gormley. Bernard Dwyer was the one who caught it again. Saints inside the Salford 25 then. Cooper to Frodsham. Holding and Frodsham working another clever little run around, and Bailey and Frodsham's in the move again. It's taken them 15 yards backwards. Beavers. Dwyer. Forwards spilled it. Holding retrieved it. Cooper has space. Oh, he had Beavers in support. Now he's got Groves. Always a man willing to take the fouls. Paul Forber in the end. Up to within 10 yards of the Salford line. Cooper. Holding. Cosgrove. This is the view that the Salford defence have now. Vital that they try and hold out. Cooper working a little dummy move with Holding. 5 tackles. Salford done 5-6 of their job. Holding with a kick ahead. Frodsham the closest Saints man to it, but Barrett dealt with it well and was tackled in his in-goal area. Yeah,
great catch by the young Mark Barrett there, his first game. It's the sort of stuff that can win games for you.
He's 25 actually, he's been with the club for 5 years now. Tex Evans was taken off the ball there by Paul Forber. There's a chase downfield. It did look a high and late tackle by Forber. Touch judge from the other side, Ray Duckworth, got a better view of it than the referee, and Forber's off. Oh, he sent Andy Bateman off, has he? It's the wrong man. There's Evans getting treatment. And it's Cooper who's going now, and it's not him either, I don't think.
No, I think he's got the right player eventually. It's Forber. But I think Forber had to give himself up to get off. I think you were right, Clive. I think he was going to send... First he was going to send Bateman, and then he wasn't sure who to send.
Well, Paul Forber is the man who's going off in the sin bin. He'll be back. Evans is still in trouble, but play continues. And here comes Whiteley bursting forward again for Salford. Let's see if they can take the same kind of advantage of the extra man that St Helens did before. Tony Rampling intent on doing that. Cairns kept alive well. Still a chance for Brooke Cowden. Moran. Here's Rampling again. Very important this for Salford that they take some points back with them. Cairns. Oh, a rather wild one from Whiteley. Well picked up though by Barrett. He's got good support from Ian Braga, and he's managed to get the ball out. It's gone to ground. Hadley's picked it up. Did it go forward? Yes, it did. Well, well. Should have been a try there.
Oh, they absolutely butchered it, didn't they?
But just concentrate on Tex Evans, who's obviously not in the best of condition there. He took a high tackle from Forber as he tried to work the quick free kick. Here it is. There's the kick. And there's Forber taking him with the right arm. The Saints have escaped from that hole very well, and they may even have conjured up He'll score. Frodsham to Hunt. Might be the quickest man on the field, this lad. Well dealt with by Adrian Hadley. Eventually ran in, and that was a little bit high and wild. Cosgrove. Holding and Frodsham working something again in midfield. Dwyer losing the ball. Salford have got it back.
Another great tackle by Whiteley over the top there, forcing that handling error.
Here's Hadley again. Salford awake to make a substitution. Bring on Steve Carey for poor Tex Evans. Salford have a penalty meanwhile. Here comes the substitution. Steve Carey. St Helens were actually interested in him when he was scoring points for Preston Grasshoppers Rugby Union Club, but he joined Salford. Here's Whiteley again taking the ball forward for Salford. Keynes. Rampling. Keynes again. Good play once more. Blease trying to work something. Great tackle by Phil Vevers. Salford have kept it though. Ian Braga. Oh. Peter Williams. Now can he conjure up a scoring gap? Barrett. Terrible pass. Oh. Well. We have seen a lot of mistakes. But it's a very evenly balanced game. Very, very exciting. Keynes. Oh, it's hit the post and that could be dangerous. Oh, it could bounce for Keynes. Would you believe it? Now, you won't see that again all season. He could practice that a million times and never pull it off because David Keynes was the player who kicked it. Mick Adams used to do that for Widnes. It bounced down off the post. It's a freak try, but a vital try for Salford.
It is a vital try, as you say, Clive, and it was important that they did get some points here just prior to half-time. They say in this game you make your own luck, and I guess you do because Cairns has beaten them to the ball, but I'm not sure you can cater for that bounce off the post bit.
You honestly can't believe that, can you? Look at that, and look how it bounces for him. He's got it on a string.
Luck's of fortune.
And his expression's hardly changed. It's almost as if he knew what he was doing.
I'm very pleased to see them score this try. I guess there's no better chaser than the kicker of the ball, is there? He's always hungry to get it back.
He's playing with a very painful toe injury today. Won't be quite so painful now. Adrian Hadley with a chance to improve it. And he's knocked it wide. Let's hear what Alex Murphy thinks about all this.
Well, I think they've got a bench of church, haven't they, this morning? I mean, there's no way you get a bounce like that. But we should put things like that away. Phil Vevers and David Tanner just stood and watched.
So St Helens are behind again. And one of the most unusual, one of the most fortunate, but in its way, one of the most interesting tries you're likely to see this season. Certainly won't forget it. It's put Salford back in front. 10 points to 8 to the away side. And they're back in possession with Mark Brooke Cowden. Williams kicking. Alan Hunt. say he's running into trouble, but he's running well. Offside against Salford.
Those sort of penalties make me very angry. The play was developing here on St Helens' left-hand side, and the referee runs to the other side of the field to give a penalty against a bloke with his toenail in front of him.
Here's Cooper. Holding. Bailey. Nice idea. David Cairns with the tackle. Phil Vivers. Swashbuckling sort of player, Vivers. Very popular. The Lancashire Federation of Supporters Clubs voted in their player of the season last year. That's a good break by Frodsham. He's got the support, shooting to get in. Dave Cosgrove and St Helens are back in front. And this seesaw match takes another turn. And Dave Cosgrove gets his second try of the season and his first ever in Championship Rugby League.
Well, if it made me angry, you can imagine how Kevin Tamedy's feeling right now after that penalty. But again, he won't be very pleased with some of the Salford defence there. Here we see their defence come to a simple... It was really a 2-on-1 tackle. St Helens managed to find a small player against two large players, and Frodsham's done well to beat, and good support again from Cosgrove.
Lost a stone in weight in the last couple of weeks. Dave Cosgrove, he's had a bad stomach bug. Looked a bit gaunt, didn't he? So Paul Loughlin then with a chance to improve Cosgrove's try. And he's missed that one. But St Helens are back in the lead, and they will have Paul Forber back in just a moment. His 10 minutes in the sin bin have been completed. And so we're back with a 13 against 13 game in number of players, and a 12 against 10 game in terms of the number of points. Here's Cosgrove, the try scorer. Groves, holding. Dwyer. Good tackle by Williams. Andy Bateman. Missed training on Thursday, couldn't get off work. He's a fireman in Yorkshire. He was saving lives while the other lads were sweating it out under the eye of Frank Barrow and Alec Murphy. Loughlin with the kick. Mark Barrett, the fullback. Here's the substitute, Kerry. Keds. Please. In Braga. Mark Brooke-Cowden. Mark Barrett. Williams. That could be a better kick. It is. Scrum down. Only about 7 or 8 yards from the St Helens line. Neil Holding, Bomber, as he's known in the dressing room, the St Helens scrum half. Delving in for the ball and finding Alan Hunt. Here's Andy Bateman, the Hunslet fireman. Sense of plenty of men on this open side. Not there, though. And Alan Hunt's hurt.
I have my doubts about that, Clive.
It's very nearly half-time. We've had 5 tackles. You can draw your own conclusions. And Cooper's taking it on himself. Hello, hello, hello. Storm in a teacup, I think. Whiteley's the man who wants to get involved. Referee and lines are in discussion at the moment. The touch judge is Stan Jackson. My God, it's a long story, isn't it? I didn't see all that, did you? Now, who do we want? Just another check. Get the full details. Witnesses' statements. Chris Whiteley and Shane Cooper. And a St Helens penalty. There's the guilty man. He was only married 3 weeks ago, Chris Whiteley, just come back from a honeymoon in Malta. And the last action of a very open and eventful first half. The lead changing almost by the minute. But St Helens, for all their problems, hold a 2-point advantage at the break. St Helens 12, Salford 10. We'll be inside the St Helens dressing room after this break.
I'd like a beluga caviar, a dozen bellon oysters, and then the lobster thermidor.
And for monsieur?
I'd just like telephone.
If you bank with Gyrobank, you can do all your banking direct by phone, post, and cash dispenser.
Good evening, Gyrobank. I'm sure I can.
You can even arrange an overdraft or check your balance up to 8 at night.
Yes, thank you very much. Bye.
And what would monsieur like to follow?
We'll have some champagne.
I love vintage Bollinger.
Gyrobank, a bank with fewer hold-ups.
Hello? No, this is 4724. That's quite all right.
The best thing in my life. She's small, dark, quick-witted, and she's not home. The next best thing.
Meet the new Fiesta XR2i, 110 horsepower, electronic fuel injection, sports suspension and ventilated discs. It's a road car with a track record. Could it be the next best thing in your life?
Unless you're one of those people who enjoy doing things the hard way, make it easy on yourself. Sign a thing called a direct debit. You see, when the new community charge, the poll tax, starts next April, a direct debit means that your bank or building society can handle all the payments for you. And you can pay lots of other bills this way too. So look out for the special form from your local authority, and with one signature, let direct debit make the community charge a whole lot easier.
Why do fools fall in love? Why do birds sing so gay? And lovers my way to make to say, why do they fall in love?
Mum, I've got to wash all these clothes.
Now?
Yeah, now.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Persil Automatic's advanced formula attracts the dirt and holds onto it, leaving your clothes outstandingly clean.
Love is a losing game, and love can't
Hiya, I've just
I know I will fool you, see. So
Persil Automatic. For dirt, it's the fatal attraction.
The Draca Noir Offshore Watch. Tough, black, and unerringly accurate. Your gift with a 100ml eau de toilette spray. Draca Noir by Guy Laroche. Feel the power.
Welcome back. St Helens leading Salford by 12 points to 10 at half-time. A game swinging first one way, then the other. 4 tries in that first half. Brian Smith with the analysis.
Well, we saw some great skills on this first try by Salford. They went down a short side, some nice play by the winger, the left winger Adrian Hadley. Inside ball to Cowden. Again, good support, and that's Bragga's game. Bragga's got the speed to do the business. Then we saw some skills from St Helens. Some nice play here with Lachlan showing his strength, be able to stand in the tackle, draw in 2, slip the pass, and again, very good support from Shane Cooper, who again just strolls across for an easy try there. Then we saw some luck, some real luck, the luck that every footballer wants. We see a 5th tackle play here with the kick. A halfback chasing his own kick like only a halfback can. But who can cater for a post like that? Everyone thought that ball was in the stand. But there we see David Cairns putting Salford back in the picture. And with just a few minutes to half-time, I thought we saw probably the worst of the 4 tries, worst from Salford's point of view. A 2-on-1 defensive to attacking situation, but Frodsham pushes through where there's no hole. A lovely pass, a well-timed pass, and Cosgrove finishes quite neatly.
Brian, it's been an open game in that first half. Can we expect the same in the second?
Well, I think both teams will be looking to tighten up. There's far too many errors, and particularly for Salford, too many weak points in their defensive line.
Thanks very much, Brian. Now, Phil Larder, the National Director of Coaching, has been monitoring that first half. No computers as yet. The weather seemed to have brought the gremlins. But, Phil, what have you got for us?
Well, Salford certainly have improved during the beginning of the season. Their commitment and their defensive organisation is far better. They're still close to the bottom of the table, and the only way they can beat St Helens is to control the ball. Their commitment is unquestionable, and if we look at the tackle counts, Tony Rampling has made 15, Peter Williams has made 13, and Ian Gormley has made 13, although the top of the tackle count has been Bernard Dwyer of St Helens with 18. However, if we look at the team performance, Salford have lost the scrums 2-5, they've conceded 8 penalties, 3 more than St Helens, and their error rate is 9. You can't beat St Helens.
Well, they say there's nothing more inspiring than a half-time team talk from Alex Murphy, nothing more frightening for a player if things are going wrong. Into the St Helens dressing room now for a unique insight into Murphy at work.
You know what the trouble is? There's been too many reading the Wellington report and thinking, all we have to do is go out and beat Salford. You've got to work to beat Salford, lads. Neil, the little chip, it's wide open for us. Shane, go through the gap, bring the forwards on. We murder them if we get the ball out wide, but there's too many of us bunching. Neil,
both sides going.
Strong game. Two strong wins. Kicking game, right? Lockers, you all right, son? Tommy.
Put this second man on, lad. Not put it on.
Yeah.
Alex Murphy in fine form. Will he do the trick for Saints, leading 12 points to 10 against Salford at Knowsley Road? The second half is live after this break.
What you're listening to is the business language of the future from British Telecom. A language that enables your customers to picture your product instantly. That lets you receive vital data in seconds. After all, the faster your company receives information, the quicker you can profit from it. For your action pack, call us free on 0800 800 800. British Telecom. It's you we answer to.
Life is full of decisions. Some of the head, some of the heart. Take your next car. Will it have a catalytic converter that removes 95% of pollutants? Will it be clean yet lose nothing in performance? Will it have all this at no extra cost? In short, will it be one of the new generation of Audis? Vorsprung durch Technik, as both your head and your heart would say.
I'm Ken. I've just bought some wallpaper.
Hey, my name's Gary. I'm a tourist. Are you a Virgo?
Hello. My name's Jeff.
Oh, time for a sharp exit. Time for a cool, sharp harp.
It's ideal for the bedroom.
Oh, cheeky.
Strips off very easy.
Right. I'm off. I'm not working hard enough.
Where are you going?
I'll show you where. Come on.
At Barclays, the money you save goes to work. Millions of people save with Barclays. In fact, we have twice as many savers as borrowers, and more ways to save than you ever thought. If you want your money to do more work, then we believe you're better off saving with Barclays.
Question: does your power saw give you control? Through 360 degrees with a steerable blade, and power to shape, power to cut straight and true. Does it lock? To cut perfect, right angles? And does it cut circles even in sheet steel? If the answer's yes, you have the scroller from Black & Decker. Tough tools for tough jobs.
Championship Rugby League live from Knowsley Road, St Helens. 4 tries in the opening half. And Salford here restarting, trailing by 12 points to 10 to St Helens. You heard the words of wisdom of Alex Murphy, who numbers Salford amongst his previous clubs. He had a couple of years there at the end of the 70s. As often happens, the teams come out charged up after 10 minutes in the company of their coaches. And a penalty conceded. Andy Bateman, a little winded. What did you make of Alex Murphy's performance at half-time, Brian?
Well, the little bits that we saw there, Clive, I think Alex was trying to encourage his players to play some bright attacking football and to move the ball wide. And I'm sure every coach likes to see his team do that. He also encouraged Neil Holding to chip the ball. He kept saying they're wide open to it. And if we get a wide, as we watch the game this afternoon, we'll see some wide shots of the defence. And you'll see that David Cairns is actually playing in the defensive line. So there's no sweeper, no cover behind that front defensive line. And if Holding puts it together well, it can be well, they can really open them up. But I don't think either coach will be too happy at the moment. Salford was giving away a penalty early, and now Alex Murphy will be worried about Bateman, who's played quite strongly.
Big man, he was actually in the Great Britain training squad for a spell during his Hunslet days. David Cosgrove. Groves. Here is Holding. Cooper. On him, short ball to Beavers. Forber running strongly. Mark Bailey in support. And Tommy Frodsham up on his inside. Here is Frodsham. Referee encouraging the Salford tacklers to get up off the St Helens player quickly. Here's Forber again. Another error. Attempted pass out of the tackle. Forber always looking to unload. Here is Cairns. In Blease. And Gormley. Mark Moran. That's 5 tackles used up. Peter Williams to kick. Phil Beavers. David Tanner. Again, poor tackling, conceding 10 unnecessary yards. Lachlan. Cooper. He's had more ideas than anybody on the field this afternoon. Shane Cooper, the St Helens captain. Bateman. Good tackle by Gormley. Frodsham holding. There's that little kick that Murphy was looking for, and Alan Hunt's in pursuit of it. Oh, and slipped away, and Hunt almost there. He'll drop out from under the post. And a good opportunity for St Helens. Alan Hunt. Stolen from Yorkshire Junior Rugby, the vice-captain of the recent Great Britain Under-19 tour to Australia. Holding. Forber. Frodsham. Dave Cosgrove. Cooper again. Bernard Dwyer. Tackle was high, but chest high in the referee's opinion. Holding. Long ball from Groves. Vevers up in the line. 5 years at St Helens now, Phil Vevers. Came over with Mal Meninga from Australia in '84. Holding again. They play every play as if it's the 5th tackle, don't they? Here's Groves. Dwyer. Frodsham. But when it comes off, it's spectacular. Phil Vevers, marvellous St Helens try. And that tells you everything you need to know about this team. So much flair. They take risks. But when it comes off for them, they are the most breathtaking side in the league.
When they string passes together like this, they're really, the writing's on the wall for Salford. They've got so many players who are prepared to support the ball. They had 3 or 4 who could have scored this try.
So many of the tries that we've seen have players gone over almost unopposed.
And even though the ball goes to ground, they're quick to react to it. Nice little in and away there. Frodsham's in the hole. I think Paul Groves is a bit disappointed he didn't get that try.
Well, there were 3 St Helens men up on Frodsham's shoulder. Lachlan, formality of the extra 2 points. St Helens stretched their lead. They've lost Andy Bateman in the meantime. Phil Vevers the try scorer. But the substitute is on. Big Paul Jones has replaced Andy Bateman in the St Helens pack. And St Helens have an 18 points to 10 lead. And that actually could be the key score in the match, I think.
Yes, I think the first try scorer in this half was always likely to be the winner. And I think we could see St Helens really run away with this unless Salford really lift their defence.
Big season for St Helens. Last season ended so disappointingly for them. Here is Jones, the substitute. 6 defeats in their last 7 league games, in that Whitewash Cup final defeat against Wigan at Wembley. Alex Murphy put 13 players on the list after that, promised new faces. Although he has 7 of his Wembley lineup on view again here this afternoon. Beavers. Again, a rather rash pass. Jones rescuing it. Well, 5 tackles, says the referee. Lachlan must kick. Mark Barrett underneath it. There's Whiteley. Cairns. Gormley. Moran gathered that well, needs support now, he's got it from Rampling. Kept alive by Cairns and by Williams. Braga. Good chase that by Vivas, holding making the tackle in the end. In Gormley, 5th tackle. Bentley has to kick, not a good one. Vivas under little pressure. Alan Hunt. Still without several key players, the Helens. Les Quert, their top scorer last season. Roy Haggerty and Chris Arkwright on the way back. 3 of their Welsh Rugby Union signings still absent. Mike Carrington, Jonathan Griffiths, who made an impressive start to his life in the professional code, and of course big Stuart Evans, the prop forward. Scrum down. Evans had just recovered from injury, and Alex Murphy was telling me he's doing some flagging at his home down in South Wales. He hit his finger with a hammer and ruptured the tendons. Good ball from Vivas. Tanner. Hadley. Very positive in the tackle. Vivas. Cooper. Good ball. Bernard Dwyer. Tommy Frodsham. Couldn't go all the way. St Helens really opening up now. Salford stretched again. Vivas, Mark Bailey, another good try. Again, good hands in the line, quick movement of the ball, and the supporting player, Mark Bailey, gets his reward. It's his 4th try of the season. It equals his entire tally for last.
We're seeing the end of the try here, where some nice hands from Phil Vivas finds gaping holes in the Salford defence, and in the end an easy try. But this really all developed from a lovely backline play from a scrum on the far side of the field, and what we're seeing here are the finishing touches. A lovely pass from Vivas. Bailey certainly had a relatively easy job, but did it well.
Paul Lachlan then. Won a big kicking competition before the Widnes Canberra World Club Challenge match at Old Trafford recently. Picked up £1,000. Slotted in a 45-yarder to beat Lee Crooks in the kick-off. That's not bad either. Great kick by Lachlan. Switched to fullback in the Test match last week when Steve Hampson went off. This is the...
Here's the lead up to the try, with Frodsham really, again, showing that he can run into a hole. Cooper at acting half, finding players here with lots of space. Some poor defence perhaps, but you have to give St Helens credit. They're really in the groove now.
As Bailey the scorer. 24-10 then in St Helens' favour. And we've still got 28 minutes of the match to go. With St Helens in the mood now and with some breathing space, this could be quite spectacular. Here's Paul Groves. Now it's a straight chase between Hadley and Groves. Hadley has to be the favourite. Oh, he's lost it and Groves is in! It's the outsider who wins the race. A try for Paul Groves, a former Salford player. Enjoyed that, didn't he? Adrian Hadley didn't.
Well, Paul Groves may enjoy it, but I'll bet Murphy's the first one to claim this. Alex Murphy told his players to chip the ball, and it was a hare and the tortoise job, although Paul Groves won't like me saying that. But the tortoise won the day, where the hare here is Adrian Hadley, who won it easily. The race for the chip, it's directly, as Murphy said, in the hole at the back, no cover, past the fullback. And here we see the hare on the fly. Hadley had all day, but the skill wasn't there, and Groves gets a reward.
Had 4 years at Salford. Paul Groves came here 2 years ago. He's still learning. Laughlin's missed the kick. And Hadley's been substituted. Tex Evans is back on. I don't know whether he was carrying an injury or not, or whether that's punishment. So St Helens now 3 full scores clear of Salford, 28-10. And Salford's defence again being shown up. Lee are the only team that they've played in the First Division this season who failed to score at least 5 tries against them. And Saints could score anything now. Laughlin's kick, well taken by Kerry. Jones holding on. Let's check on the latest statistics with Phil Larder. Anything on the number of errors that are being made, Phil?
Well, that's quite true, Clive. There's no way that a team at the bottom of the league can go and take on St Helens without controlling the ball. And as you see on there, they're making far too many errors. Five of the Salford players in the top 7.
1 or 2 gremlins with the computer early in the day, but nice to see that aspect of our coverage, illustrating the difference between the two sides. St Helens have made a fair number of mistakes themselves, but Salford have made far too many. In possession, though, with Peter Williams, who will be glad that he's out there and not looking at that information we've just had. Not had the best of days. And there goes the ball loose again, this time from Moran. Here's Paul Laughlin. Difficult customer to tackle. He's 6'3". Cooper. Former. He'll enjoy himself now. Bentley with the tackle. Larger-than-life character. Like Pluto, doesn't he? Tell him I said that. Neil Holding. He's a lovely kicker of the ball. Tex Evans chasing back. Tackle by Tanner.
He's not afraid to take a player on, is he, Evans? He didn't really have much room to work in there, but he managed to get through Tanner just with determination.
I think this is when a coach finds out a lot about his players, when they're 18 points down, away from home, match running away from them. Those that hang in now are the ones that Kevin Tamity will presumably base Salford's future around.
In fact, just prior to that last try, I thought Salford were really rallying. They came up with 2 good defensive sets of 6, and they really were putting some pressure on. But unfortunately, it was an error again brought, as we see again, brings the end of a rally.
Control of the ball. That's what you talked about at the start of the match. And it's what Kevin Talmadge's been talking about ever since he took over. And Salford have had no control of the ball today. Paul Jones. Eric Hughes, the great former witness player, was telling me that he's done a lot of work on fitness with the players here at St Helens during the summer, and he's particularly impressed with the work that the young forward substitute Paul Jones has been doing. Bernard Dwyer, and Saints have coughed it up this time. Tony Rampling. Please. Now he's made a good bust there. Cairns has rescued the ball. Back to one. Williams. Made the best use of it though, not yet anyway. Braga. Good strong running player, but again trying to smuggle a tackle out. Phil Lard has some more information for us.
If we look at the work rate, which is a combination of drives and tackle counts, we can see that Tony Rampling, Chris Whiteley and Ian Gormley are working particularly hard for Salford, and presumably these will be three of the players that Kevin will be building his future around.
Driving rain at Knowsley Road at the moment, as Salford win a critical scrum. Kerry, Evans. Saints turn to do some defending. Moran trying to get Braga in. Cairns with a longer ball. Gormley. Former holding him. Helping out. Cairns again. Lee's unable to get the ball away. St Helens have defended well. You always feel a part of the defence from this angle, don't you? Rampling. Missed out Barrett. Kicked through by Braga, impeded. Ball had already gone forward. Ian Braga there has been linked with Leeds very strongly this season. He actually lives in Yorkshire, travels over to train with Salford. He drives plant on a site over in Yorkshire. He's telling me he gets up at 5:30 every morning. Comes over and trains at the end of a long 10-hour day. Good player. Salford have won it. Williams. Nobody at all on the short side for Salford. Well, it's now or never for Kevin Talmadge's side. Moran trying to get in. Cairns. 5 good tackles by St Helens. Cairns with a little kick. Loughlin collects. Now he could go the length here, but the cover's good. St Helens have it back. Paul Forber. Holding, kicking again. Between Kerry and Barrett, making the fullback turn and chase back towards his own line. Well, Alex Murphy will be a much happier man for developments at the start of this second half. Exciting stuff, Alex.
Well, I would say exciting if you're on television, Clive. It's certainly not exciting on the bench. We've gone very complacent, and I still think there's not enough work being done. If we work to this game, we could win it with 50.
Here's Tex Evans. Braga. Time and time again, Salford have surrendered possession to St Helens. Beavers. Long ball to Loughlin. Now he's got Hunt outside of him. Well, he ran into the winger's space, really, and Bit of a misunderstanding between centre and winger. Salford are preparing to make a substitution. Gary Disley, prop forward, who's been out of action for a year or so with a knee operation. Mark Brooke-Cowden is the man that Kevin Tamity wants off. Brooke-Cowden just leaving the scrum to depart. Big New Zealander, made his name in the Rugby Union World Cup a couple of years ago. And Disley back on in his place, a Wiganer. Bentley. Gormley. Cairns. Whiteley going on. Cairns to Disley. Moran. Beaver's tackle. Fifth of the drive. Cairns. Tester for Neil Holding. Well, it would have been a bit more pressure on him. Jones. St Helens penalty. 16 minutes remaining. They lead by 28 points to 10 now, Saints. Alex Murphy, their coach, asking for 50. Never satisfied. Forber, Frodsham, Jones. Actually, those of you who've maybe not grown up with rugby league, who know of Alex Murphy, the mouth, the controversial, colourful character, it's worth remembering we're talking about one of the greatest players ever to play this game. His achievements as a player and coach stand comparison with anybody in the history of rugby league. Neil Holding. Cooper just trying to fend it off for Forber. Forward, says the referee. No, says Neil Holding.
I think Neil Holding is suggesting to the referee that Cooper was tackled before he actually received the ball, and I think I'm inclined to agree with Holding.
Salford have got the ball.
Clive, I think one of the problems that Kevin Tamity's got with this Salford team, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way to the players concerned, but at least half a dozen of his players are from rugby union background, and they're not really, to me, they're not really well versed in some of the finer skills and tactical parts of the game. And I think Kevin's got a real education process to go through.
A little bit of a flare-up between David Tanner and Mark Barrett, the Salford fullback. Barrett, who was sin-binned in an A-team game last week, picked up a £50 fine from Tamity under the new code of conduct, which has so upset Mick Worrell. Asked for a transfer this week. Frodsham. Nearly came off. Beaver's just unable to hold on. Kevin Tamity tried Adrian Hadley in the centre against Widnes on Tuesday, just to try to get him to see a little bit more of the ball, but I think that tactical awareness that Brian was talking about is something which is rather painfully learnt, and I think his positional play left a little bit to be desired in that experiment, and he was back on the wing today. He's now been substituted. It's one thing coming from rugby union into a successful setup, It's another thing coming into a team in the bottom 4 or 5 of the First Division. That's good play. Braga again. It's got Evans outside him if he looks. He was able to make the tackle. Keith Bentley. Williams. Rappling. Cairns. He's shown plenty of enterprise. Blees. Got good support. Keith Bentley. Now, can he get Evans in or go himself? And Keith Bentley is in. And consolation at least for Salford. With a try by Keith Bentley, his first for 10 months.
I think the Salford supporters here will be happy to take it. And all the booing you hear is coming from the St Helens supporters who suggest that there was an obstruction or a shepherd play here where Bentley appeared to run behind his own players. But I don't think he actually was interfered. Any player was interfered with. Oh, I'm not so sure looking at that.
Maybe Tex Evans. I don't think it's going to affect the outcome. But who knows? It's got Salford back within 14 points. I've got a recognised kicker on now in Steve Kerry. Well, it's back to 2 scores. St Helens lead cut to 12. And Salford have got 12 minutes or so.
Here's some lovely skill from Ian Blees and some lovely footwork again from Bentley. Yeah, I think perhaps Tanner was interfered with there. But you know, this game, if Salford can put another try on the board here, this game can finish in a very exciting way. They'll need a converted try very quickly.
Ian Gormley setting off in pursuit of it. 2 improved tries would level it. Cairns. Whiteley has been grafting away. Let's take a check on the work rate figures with Phil Larder. What have you got for us?
Alex Murphy quite rightly has complained about the work rate of a few of his players, but he certainly must be impressed by his second row combination of Bernard Dwyer and Dave Gosgrove, who were both playing exceptionally well and are committed both with the ball and when defending.
Yes, any tackle count over 20 is very impressive in rugby league. It's not too impressive. Oh, and it's been stolen by Barrett. But for Vivas, Salford would have had a real gap to try to exploit their Cairns. Pass came off his own player, Gormley, and Hunt was able to scoop it up. Lachlan. Less than 10 minutes remaining. St Helens leading by 28 points to 16. Live Championship Rugby League from Knowsley Road. St Helens in the white strip, in possession with their captain Shane Cooper. Neil Holding. Chance to move within a point of the Rugby League leaders Warrington if St Helens can preserve their lead. On a run of 4 consecutive victories coming into this game. The form team in the First Division. 5th tackle. Holding's kick. Barrett. Salford haven't won at Knowsley Road for going on for 10 years. Saints have had the edge in the last 6 meetings here. And they've had the edge for much of this seesaw match this afternoon. Well, another handling error, this time by Blees. For Lachlan. Holding and Frodsham have worked well together. Tommy Frodsham. That time it went down from Dwyer. To St Helens halfbacks, Neil Holding and Tommy Frodsham, 6 and 7, have virtually grown up together. There is Frodsham. He and Holding were actually in the same school team. That's his contribution to the afternoon's match. But he played alongside Neil Holding when he was an 11-year-old at Rivington School, St Helens. Maybe spent a little bit too long in the second division, actually. Spells with Blackpool Borough and Swinton. And he's been voted the man of the match this afternoon. Good footballer. Well, he's made his contribution for the day. And Saints take the opportunity to bring on their teenage starlet Gary Connolly at fullback. Good contribution, though, from Frodsham today, Brian.
He was particularly exciting in attack today. I thought he was very quick to support the ball and got through a number of short holes today off Cooper.
Here's Gary Connolly, the young fullback who you may remember from the Cup final last season. He's had a knee injury which he picked up on that under-19 tour to Australia. Just back in action this week. Lachlan. Rampling still tackling strongly. Bernard Dwyer had a spell with the famous Sydney club Manly during the summer, mainly reserve grade. Neil Holding hurt. Neil Holding is going to require some treatment. Actually, I think they're queuing up for treatment at St Helens at the moment. They've got a new physiotherapist, one Jeanette Smith, who, apart from being very, very good at her business, is a very attractive young lady. Seems to be, that's not her, by the way. Seems to be a trend in rugby league at the moment, with Viv Glebe doing very good work at Widnes. They wouldn't survive in this world unless they were good at their business. Neil Holding in just a bit winded. He was one of the players put on the transfer list after the Cup final, Holding, but he's really knuckled down again this season. He's such a talent. Man of the match last week in that fine win which ended Warrington's unbeaten run. Playing some of the best rugby years of his life at the moment, Holding. The Saints have got the ball. Whatever Gormley may think. And a penalty given. Holding finding touch. Some more words from Alex Murphy. 2 clear scores clear at this stage.
I don't know about 3 tries clear, Clyde, but we've certainly gone to sleep. I think our performance last week has certainly took a bit out of us, and I think some of the lads think they'd won this game at 28 points, which is not very good at all.
Dare say you'll be doing something about it. Well, another 10 minutes in the sin bin. This time for Gary Disley. He's only just come on, the Salford substitute. Dave Cosgrove was the victim of his challenge. There's the St Helens bench. Cosgrove again. Holding. Dwyer. He missed a plane back from Australia, incidentally, after that spell with Manly. Mr Murphy wasn't best pleased. Forber. Good break. Another try for Paul Forber. 4 tries in his last 5 matches. He's in cracking form at the moment. Real inspiration to St Helens.
Here we see that St Helens actually do a 2-in and come back to that side again, and that's an awesome task to stop Forber on the fly like that. The work had been well done here by some of their inside players to take the ball forward, and Cooper had plenty of room. They had the numbers. Moran wasn't up to the task. Forber hard and straight. He's a big man.
He loves to get wide, Paul Forber. He's had a good contribution today. But those busts, the breaking tackles, that's what he's best at. He's had to revert to prop today in the absence of George Mann, who's joined the New Zealand tourists, and Stuart Evans is still injured. Paul Lachlan again. And Saints have that 3-score advantage back. And we're into the last 4 minutes.
And to be fair, Clive, I think that's a more realistic assessment of today's game.
Well, I said before the match that these two are averaging nearly 50 points a match in their games in the First Division so far this season, and that's just what we've had this afternoon. Alan Hunt. We've heard from Alex Murphy. He's not totally satisfied. Kevin Tamati will be far from satisfied, but it says something about St Helens with so many key players still to come back, so much room for improvement in their coach's opinion, that they're going to finish the day within a point of the First Division leaders. Here's Paul Groves. Now he's got support. Well taken by Forber. Alan Hunt. Forber still. Holding. Cooper. They've done it again. Terrific stuff. Bernard Dwyer finishing it off. Keeping the ball alive. That's what it's all about. It's the St Helens motto, it should be. And it's produced try after try this afternoon. Exciting, exhilarating stuff.
Now that's got to be the try of the season. Absolutely spectacular stuff. We're not really picking up where this all started. I'm not sure. I reckon there's 10 passes in this movement. And when you've got a scoreline like they have at the moment, it breeds confidence, and it's also breeds good handling.
Bernard Dwyer's first try since the Premiership semi-final against Widnes back in May.
Here's St Helens at their best, standing in tackles, unloading, and this is a player I really fancy. I thought he was outstanding in the beaten team at Wembley last season, Paul Groves. He can show a clean pair of heels for a number 9, this guy. And this is a great catch. Forber pulls it in with one hand. And Hunt does well to get the ball back inside here. He's gone. No, he's not. It's back over. And again, Forber takes a great catch. It's all really slick hands. And a good timing again from Cooper. Puts the finishing touches on it. That's great. That's a fantastic try.
Dwyer's try. St Helens 40, Salford 16. And another statistic to add to all the hard work that Bernard Dwyer's done. Gary Connolly. Good to see him back. Cosgrove. Groves. Paul Groves might be a little disappointed that there wasn't a Great Britain call for him. Here's Neil Holding. That's an interesting kick. Alan Hunt's quick. Tex Evans is back there. He's got to kick it dead. Good covering by Evans. But when Great Britain lost their regular hooker Beardmore from the options for the second test, they brought in Paul Hume, who's done a very, very good job for Widnes. Indeed for Great Britain when he's been called in that position, but Paul Groves a bit a little disappointed. He's played for Great Britain before. Here's Connolly again.
I like that. Neil Holding said, "I've done enough, son. You have a run."
I dare say there were senior players who used to do that to him when he started his St Helens career 12 years ago. Very good senior players. Cooper, Forber. They just want it to go on and on now, St Helens. Holding to Bailey. Lachlan. Well, the coach has asked for 50 points. Shane Cooper. Just held. Neil Holding it is, beg your pardon. Here's Bailey, here's Cooper. Cosgrove. Cooper, he might get the try after all. Oh, good stuff. No, not given. Ball went forward. I think he knows it.
The replay here will be very interesting to see, Clive, if we get one, because I think Cooper says that he got his foot to the ball and it was a little kick. Here it is. No, he's having us on.
Unless he's got a foot halfway up his leg. Ball went forward there.
There was a try for the begging there for Salford. I think Mr. Tudball might have been a little harsh on them there, but that's typical for Salford today.
A lot of work for Kevin Tamity to do. St Helens play with a smile on their face at the moment. And they've had a most convincing win this afternoon. 40 points to 16, the final tally. They played some open and adventurous stuff. Just 2 points ahead at half-time. They really stretched the game in the second half, kept the ball alive, and really thrilled us with a 40 points to 16 win. We'll be back with reaction in just a moment.
Too can have a breakfast like mine. Kellogg's Special K breakfast has only 190 calories. Get in shape, lose the fat.
British satellite broadcasting will be on air in the spring. We've listened to thousands of people's ideas and opinions about what makes great television, which is why we're launching with 5 themed channels.
You shake my nerves and you're out of my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, quite afraid. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
And we'll continue to listen. So you get to see more of the programs you really want to see. BSB 5-channel TV. You watch, we listen.
Before he went away, the governor, he said, Julio, every Englishman's home is his castle. He said, you can't be too careful. There are a lot of villains about. So he called a man from Everest. Oh, and they come and fit these new high-security double glazings. But one thing I don't understand. The governor, he has this beautiful villa here. So why he take his holidays in this Benton villa?
Fit the best, Everest.
Joy, Piccadilly Key 103 and Piccadilly 1152, and you could win a share of the £20,000 Money Mountain. Piccadilly, pounds better.
Welcome back. St Helens have beaten Salford by 40 points to 16 here at Knowsley Road in tremendous style. Let's take a check on how that victory affects the league tables. St Helens just a point behind Warrington at the top. 5 wins on the trot for them now. That's impressive stuff. Let's have a look at the bottom of the table. Salford, no movement, just 1 win still this season. Well, there were 6 exciting tries in that second half. Brian Smith now takes a look at the pick of them.
Well, if you like your rugby clean and fast and open and with lots of tries, today was a day for it. We saw St Helens really moving the ball about, and Frodsham, man of the match, running into one of those little holes that he smelled out so well today. He's got a real sense of the game. This end-on shot shows just how many holes there were in the Salford defence, but it also shows just how quickly St Helens were able to gather their momentum. Again, we see some lovely passing in this rush. Cooper's the architect of lots of this. Again, great timing. It's Frodsham in the hole. He's going to ground, but they're quickly into position and the passing momentum that St Helens can gather and rip any team apart was just too good for Salford today. Vivas, the short ball to Bailey, and Bailey's in again. And this is the try of the match. This one will go down in the record books. Cooper's got all the time in the world, but he's a smart player who loves to unload the pass. Lachlan stands in the tackle here as he did many times today. And here's a favourite player of mine, Perry Groves. Pushes hard into a hole, and this man can really run. Those people who'd have you believe that forwards in rugby league can't run, they're on the wrong track. Groves shows us here. And those who say that they can't catch have got it all wrong too. Look at Forber, a one-handed, left-handed piece of skill. And then he backs it up with a great reaction here. From an inside pass, overhead, anything goes from Hunt because he was about to go into touch. But Forber's up to the task. So's Holding. Cooper on the burst again. And Dwyer's welcome home from Manly is a try.
I thought Brian would maybe lose his voice there. Well, Phil Lord has been monitoring the facts and figures. Phil, what have you got for us?
Well, Alec Murphy certainly believes in playing entertaining football. And St Helens have entertained today. They've kept the ball alive, and their support play has been superb. The only way that Salford could have won was to have played the ball in their half, to pressurise with a strong defence, and then to have controlled the ball. If we look at the statistics for a minute, first of all, St Helens had the ball for 3 minutes longer than they did. As far as the possession analysis, 23 errors to Salford, 11 penalties. There's no way that you can beat a team of St Helens' calibre playing football like that. And if we also look at missed tackles, you will see that on the chart, all the missed tackles are Salford players. A difficult performance.
Thanks very much, Phil. Let's go down to the St Helens dressing rooms and straight away join Clive Tilsley.
Alex, more points than we can count. You're a point away from the league leaders, Warrington, and you're still not satisfied. What's up with you?
Well, I'm not satisfied because I don't think the lads will be satisfied. I think they know there was a little bit of complacency there. I mean, anybody to score 40 points have got to think, well, they've played well. But I know our lads can play better than that. I think we've done some good things very, very, very well, and we've done some things very, very bad.
They say that a team plays like the coach's character. It's a pretty flamboyant team you've got out there at the moment.
It's a team who I think will go better because what it is, you know, we're not like Brian Smith. I know Brian has been complaining about the tackling, but one thing we don't stop over here is entertainment. If we make 4 bad tackles and they let 2 tries in, we score 10. And that's what these spectators want.
But is that going to win you trophies?
It'll win us a lot of trophies this year. Look at the end of the season. We're only just starting, and the lads know they're not right yet. But I'll tell you what, when it comes down to tackling, they can do it.
I mean, you're winning friends, but at the end of the day, you've got to compete against sides that are very, very well disciplined.
Well, we've not done bad up to now. We've played 5 and won 5. We played Castleford and should have beat them. We played Bradford and should have beat them. So, when we're not right, we're not doing bad, are we?
Now, you've still got 1 or 2 players to come by. What are your aims and ambitions for St Helens? What's good enough for St Helens?
I want to go back to Wembley, and I think the lads want to go back to Wembley, and I want to obliterate the performance which happened there. And I think we're quite capable of doing that. We're not right, by the way, yet, Clive.
Yeah, you're going to give us a smile and lay off them when you get there, all right?
No, I always... They know me. They know what I'm like. When I say it, I forget it straight after.
Yeah, thanks for giving us a show, Alex. Thanks very much indeed.
St Helens can play better. That's a warning for the rest. A tremendous game here this afternoon, but there's a full programme of rugby league tomorrow, while the tests take a rest. The pick of the games looks to be Sheffield Eagles against Wigan.
Match of the day in the Stone Spitter Championship tomorrow is at Hillsborough. They've shaken St Helens, they've taken Widnes. The Eagles of Sheffield are big game hunting again. Wigan's championship defeat by Castleford last weekend was their first since the opening day of the season. It's over a year since they lost 2 in a row. Sheffield Eagles versus Wigan. A crowd of 10,000 expected at Hillsborough. Barrow and Wakefield played their best football of the season last Sunday. Barrow have been propping up the rest of the First Division since week 1, but they're off and running at last. Tomorrow's other First Division fixture, Barrow versus Wakefield Trinity. In the Second Division, it's top versus bottom at Spotland. Rochdale Hornets' run of 5 consecutive wins can't be bettered anywhere in the league. It's another John Wood success story. Rochdale versus poor Runcorn, who haven't won in more than a year. The eye-catcher on tomorrow's Second Division schedule, Halifax and Hull KR, just 2 defeats between them. Another tough one for Oldham at Doncaster. Home matches on this side of the Pennines for Swinton, Chorley and Workington Town. Headingley is the home to the John Smith's Yorkshire Cup final tomorrow. Bradford Northern are powerful favourites, but they needed a replay and some luck to see off Second Division Halifax in the semis. Featherstone Rovers are their opponents. They squeezed home in a semi-replay with Castleford. The Yorkshire Cup final. 7 days to D-Day, and the world champions are next for New Zealand.
Scrum fed by Bancroft. Here's Clark. Here's Watson away. And Dave Watson sailing away again. He's got support. He might have to unload. He does to Darryl Williams. And Darryl Williams, the replacement player, goes in and scores. And the Kiwis have cracked 40.
It's the unofficial 4th test. Widnes versus New Zealand. 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Well, Brian, they handed you a bit of a thrashing, didn't they, really?
They were too good for us, Rob. They came out, and I told my players, and I think you didn't have to be Einstein to work it out, but it was the last chance for many of their second-string players to show that they were good enough to be in the test team, and they showed it.
Have they recovered now, the Kiwis, do you feel, from that second test result?
Well, I'm really looking forward to the 3rd test. I think it's going to be a great match. We've no longer got the initiative being in one camp or the other. It's 3rd test. It's just got to be done.
But how do you account for the change in form from the first test result to the second test result? It was only a week in between, wasn't it?
It's one of the great parts about sport, isn't it? And particularly in team sports, where a team can put themselves together very quickly. But on the other hand, as we found out with the Kiwis, it doesn't take much to slip down.
Is Gary Freeman going to be the key man for the Kiwis?
Well, he was certainly the linchpin in their first test victory, and I'm sure they'll be looking to him again. But I was disappointed with their forward pack last time, in the same way we were disappointed with the English pack in the first test.
Brian, thanks very much. The test next week. We're back in 2 weeks with Wigan and Featherstone. St Helens have beaten Salford by 40 points to 16. Hope you've enjoyed it. From all of us, goodbye.
It's a vet's life, close to home.
Do you know anywhere where they could take lessons?
What sort of lessons?
Singing and dancing lessons.
I told him I was leaving and he laughed.
Why doesn't anyone ever take me seriously? Because you're a twit?
If I were a 17-year-old girl, where would I go?
Straight into the Guinness Book of Records.
Comedy Close to Home with Paul Nicholas, Sunday at 7:15 on Granada.
And we're close to hearing about today's sports news and scores. The results service is next.
Question: does your power saw give you control? Through 360 degrees with a steerable blade, and power to shape, power to cut straight and true. Does it lock? To cut perfect, right angles. And does it cut circles even in sheet steel? If the answer's yes, you have the scroller from Black & Decker. Tough tools for tough jobs.
Roll the camera. Check energy. Level okay. Get ready, everybody. And action.
Special guest, Shade, with double action and charge level indicator. The perfect performer.
Regular sensible eating can help you to lose fat and get in shape. There is a breakfast that can help you start the day the right way. The Kellogg's Special K breakfast with big, crunchy flakes and delicious malty taste. All adds up to around 190 calories. Kellogg's Special K. Get in shape, lose the fat.
We know how frustrating it can be trying to get hold of the TV repairman. That's why at Radio Rentals there's always someone to take your call, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Radio Rentals, total service, morning, noon, and night.
Every year, hundreds of thousands of car engines wear out prematurely. And every year, a contributory cause can be the choice of oil. Esso Superlube Plus helps keep an engine running smoothly through thick and thin, constantly protecting the engine against the final day of reckoning. Esso Superlube Plus. No other oil does more to keep your engine running the way it should.
Introducing the new Citroën XM. Until you try it, you may never realize just how good a driver you really are. Citroën XM, the road ahead.
Now, what's been happening in the sports world today? We'll find out from Elton Wellesby with the results service.